Hi, this is the video for Daf Shevui Megillah Daf, chapter 1. We're finishing chapter 1. This is the video for Daf Yud Zayin. First of all, before I start the video, I want to apologize if I cough at all during the video. I've been sick for about a month now, getting better, but hopefully you won't hear me coughing too much. We've come to the end of the chapter, and we've had a long, extended midrash on Megillat Esther. One of, as I said many times, one of the most interesting midrashim, one of the longest, or the longest extended midrash on any book found in the entire Babylonian Talmud. But the very end of it deals not with the Megillah, but deals with Yaakov. And there's a interesting lesson I just wanted to pick up on and sort of emphasize that comes at it starts at the very bottom of Tet Zayin Amud Bet. Amar Rabba Amar Rav Yitzchak Bar Shmuel Bar Marta Gadol Talmud Torah Yoter Mi Kibud Avaim. Talmud Torah is even greater than honoring your father and mother. And before I even talk a little bit about the Midrash, we should know that the rabbis took honoring one's parents very seriously. There's an extended sugya in Masechet Kiddushin about the financial obligations that a child has to one's parents. I mentioned this the other day to my students that I was teaching at the conservative yeshiva, and I pointed out that the rabbis saw the obligation that a parent has to their child, that a child has to their parent, as even greater than the obligation that a parent has to their child. We usually today think that a person's greatest responsibility in life is to take care of their children. And while that's certainly true that it is a great responsibility to take care of your children, in the rabbinic mind, and probably in the Torah as well, the greatest responsibility that a person has in their life is to take care of their parents when they are old. And the rabbis have an extended sugya outlining and detailing all of the really financial responsibilities to feed, to clothe, to give drink, to give comfort to one's parents that a child has. It's something they took very seriously. Nevertheless, we learn over here that Talmud Torah is even greater than honoring one's parents. And they learn this from Yaakov. Shekol otan shanim shaya Yaakov avinu beveit ever lo ne'enash. That for all those years that Yaakov was studying in the Beit Midrash of Ever, Ever was the son of Shem, one of the grandson of Noach, and the rabbis imagined that Shem ve'Ever, son and father, interestingly enough, son and father set up a Beit Midrash to study. Well, I don't know exactly what they studied because the Torah hadn't yet been given, so that's an interesting question for you. What did they exactly study in the Beit Midrash of Shem ve'Ever? But in the rabbi's mind, Yaakov was studying Torah, right? Even though the Torah hadn't been given, and he was studying there for a number of years. Now, the Talmud has an extended discussion of all of the cheshbonot, the accounts of how many years he was studying there. In the end, they get to that he was studying there arba asrei shnin. Right, the 14 years that he was studying there. We know that he wasn't punished, because in another midrash we learn that Yaakov was punished for being absent from his father by his own son being absent from him for 22 years. That comes at the very end of this sugya. Yaakov was absent from his father for 36 years, and Yosef was absent from Yaakov for 22 years. So why wasn't Yaakov punished for the full 36 years? It was because the 14 years that he was studying Torah are not counted against him because he was fulfilling the mitzvah of studying Torah. And there really are a lot of ramifications for this. And I think that it's something that we should think about, not just in the literal sense of studying Torah, but in the sense of when are we allowed to intentionally move ourselves away from our parents. I can speak personally. I live in Israel. My parents live in New Jersey and near Atlantic City, where I grew up. And I and my wife both intentionally moved here, distancing ourselves from our parents, because we believe that the value of moving to the land of Israel superseded the commitment that we had to be there for our parents. But that was not an easy decision, and it remains a very difficult decision. We are not there to help them when they need help. They're both, all four of our parents, thankfully, are still in good health. But we know that when the time comes and they need our help, we won't be there for them. And I think it's something that everybody has to face in their lives. When does the values of leading their own lives supersede the values of being there to help take care of their parents?